Okay, checking on the water. There's still a little more to transfer, not much. It's getting down there. You can kind of see the water level right about that bar, a little above it almost. So that is, I think that's around 100 gallons or so. Anyway, I'm standing up in the bed of the truck overlooking the cab and of course enjoying the view. I just hope you guys are watching this on a big screen TV so you can enjoy the big high definition picture here across the valley and the mountains in the distance. Yeah, once we start clearing some more land around the building site and a lot of these little trees are gone, we ought to have the same kind of view that I have standing up in the bed of the truck. So let's see, this is more of a west direction here. South direction, about that way I believe. A little mountain range behind us. A little campground, the beginnings of it. Hopefully make this a lot more comfortable, like they call it, a glamping site in near future here. And this is more of the north direction. I think that's about east there, the direction the truck's facing. So that'll be our sunrise over these mountains, over onto our front patio probably, and then sunset of course will be out west here towards the official build site, where the center of the building envelope is, right down in here. Anyway, it's turning out to be a beautiful day. I don't think it's quite 70 yet, certainly in the high 60s and a nice breeze. Nice day to work outside. Okay, unfortunate news. Looks like a hose broke on the backhoe and it needs to be replaced and nothing's open till Monday. So that's it, about 3 hours worth of work. And I'll probably continue doing a little more manual labor, stacking these rocks as I find them and wheelbarrow them over. I'm going to go back up and check on the water transfer, see if it's finishing up yet, and maybe bring the truck down here closer to the culverts where I'm working. Thought I'd just show the water going in here. Hopefully it's visible on the angle of the hose there. It's going a little slower flow than it was earlier, and that's just the physics of, if we get down to the bottom of the water, there's less water above it pushing down in the upper tote here to go up through add pressure to this line as it's coming through. But I just take a crawl back in the truck bed here and I'll show. Sorry for the bumpy video here, I'll get a little higher. Kind of see where the water's at down there, the hose. I think we have maybe an inch or inch and a half, 2 inches at most, above the hose right now. So we're getting down there. Okay, this tank's pretty much empty. A tiny bit of water on the bottom, but I'll empty it when we get back. So this guy's got the little markers here. This is like 125 right here. The next one's 150, so we're almost to the middle. Would have been right about there. So 135 maybe gallons total in this tote. So I'll try to bring another 140 gallons out or something on the next trip and get it transferred. The gravity feed from the suction seemed to work good enough, went pretty fast. The only thing that could make it go faster is if I move this tote to a lower elevation here, like I'm tempted to put it right down in here. That would be like another probably 8-10 feet below an elevation to give it plenty of pressure, or plenty of ease of unloading, where we could once I get the hose fitting for right here, I can just hook a hose up here, run it down from up here at 10 feet above in elevation, and the weight of the water, it'll fill a tote down there a lot faster, a lot more pressure. So that might be the better long-term solution. Bad news is it's kind of a uphill back to where we kind of designated the campsite so far, but maybe we'll change the campsite, who knows. But we're done for the day now. Anyway, cheers. Okay, so we're calling it quits for the day. Heading back to the city. Got the campsite set up. That's the important thing, and I just wanted to share what it's like down here in the river channel as we're continuing the work here. Though stop for today, but you can at least see I'm probably 4 to 5 feet up from where the bottom of the river channel is down in here. So I'm 4 or 5 feet up here. So if you look down by my feet, hopefully I can get my feet down there. You can see we got a lot more digging down here to clear this river channel so that the water, as it comes rushing through on this downhill side, doesn't backfill and carry soil and dirt and rocks and stuff back into the culvert, which that's my big nightmare concern, is I don't want to have to get in there with a shovel and manually dig all that mud out, for a weekend. Wouldn't be much fun. Anyway, this is the lower part of the channel behind me where it flows. I'm going to jump over to the other side and show the upper portion of the channel we're digging and what we're doing in just a sec. So this is the upper portion of the channel, and what I got, I'll just show the upper above the culverts here. So this is the wire the water is going to flow downstream into the culverts here, and it comes from this direction behind me where the backhoe's at. So this is the river channel right in here. So it comes down this river towards me, and then it's going to hit this rock wall we're kind of building behind me and try to slow it down and to prevent any kind of erosion, I hope, and redirect it and angle it towards the culverts there. So that's what we're working on now, trying to build this up and then of course dig down below. So when the monsoons hit in the upcoming weeks, months from now, that we'll have a way to make sure the water goes where it needs to go and not backflow somewhere and create another new problem. So this is kind of what's going on. And I think I was mentioning earlier, the backhoe blew a line behind me here, just a hydraulic line, just 3 hours into this morning's work. So didn't get very far, but at least it's a start. And I'll also point out down at the culverts as I'll walk a little closer to it so you can kind of see it better. Because in prior videos, behind me here, see if I can point this out very well. The area along between the culverts was a lot more flat and flush and level with where the culverts were. We're digging a little deeper so we can build a footing with the rocks that we're going to then stack up through here, right between them. And we're also going to try looking at some rebar and cattle panel to act and weld it in there and connect it between the culverts so that we have somewhere to back stack some of the smaller boulders and build them up there so that we have more lateral support for the road, and then we can backfill it with more soil and then eventual base core material and then eventually the driveway rock. But that's where we're at for today. Cheers. Here we go. We got stuck at the railroad crossing
First
on highway
time ever.
Highway 47.
First time ever.
So those of you who love trains, here you go. And it goes on for a long, long ways. So yeah, we're gonna be waiting here a few minutes. So thought we'd at least catch a little short video section of it. And this is still like 15 miles, 12 miles outside of Berlin on the mountain air side. Heading back to Albuquerque. Okay, back home in Albuquerque, and got the one tote here back, and it's in the backyard. And of course I got a new lid for it. Managed to find one on Amazon Prime for like 13 bucks, and it got here in a day and a half. Sweet. So looks like it works good. The other thing I managed to get done during the week here was this little piece here. Getting the little nozzle put on here so that we can control it and attach it to a garden hose. So this is about 18 bucks worth of little parts here. A little adapter and another adapter here to step this down to 3/4 inch, where I could then attach the little spigot here. So now we have garden hose attachment on this one too. So that's all good. And then I'll get this back out in the truck for the weekend here soon. It's in the, like I mentioned earlier, it's in the totes in the backyard here. And of course our gate behind me, if I can get it there, right there, it's like 37 inches wide. The tote, smallest dimension, is 40 inches. So I can't just hand cart it out of here. What I have to do is, to get it out to the front yard, I have to take a little ramp, and I'll show that in another portion of this here shortly, and just drag and shove this tote up to the fence line and let it balance on the cinder cone fence there, and excuse me, not cinder block fence, and run around to the other side of the gate and then gently lower it down to the ground. Then I can get it on a hand cart and get it out to the truck, and do the same thing on the truck. Just run it up the ramp and get it in the bed of the truck. It's a pain right now. As soon as I get the garage cleaned out, I'll be storing this tote in the garage a little better. So that's kind of an update where we are with this little problem tote here, but we'll be able to take the next 140 gallons or so of water and finish filling up the second tote that's already out on the property, and finally have a full tote supply of water. Cheers. One big concern we've always had was to get some guardrails to ensure the safety over these two large 66-inch culverts. So while I wasn't able to be on the property to film this during the week, I was sent some pictures here of an accident shown in these pictures where a truck didn't quite align with the roadway correctly and managed to slide off the driveway, but was caught on the culverts. No one was injured and no damages. However, it has always been a concern that a vehicle could not only go off the driveway, like it was shown in these pictures here, but possibly fall and roll all the way into the river channel. A roll and drop into the river channel could not only cause serious damage to the vehicle, but clearly injuries to people too. We were lucky this time, but fortunately, guardrails are now on their way and should be delivered soon. The good news regarding the guardrails is that I've done some research a while ago and discovered that a new set would cost me at Home Depot around $3,000. Fortunately, my backhoe operator recently found some gently used materials for around $2 per foot. Total cost for used guardrail ended up costing me just under $400 for the materials and transportation from Grants, New Mexico to this job site. We will be integrating these posts and guardrail system into the anticipated rock retaining wall system. So it'll be one tightly integrated support system that we believe will do a great job of keeping people and vehicles safe, as well as holding this roadway and driveway across these two large culverts together. More to come in upcoming episodes. Expect around episode 30 or 31 that we will be doing the rebar cutting, welding of the posts and culverts and guardrail systems, and the cattle panels to produce this nice tightly integrated system for the roadway and the guardrails. Thank you for watching an episode of Nature Preserve Life in Mountain Air, New Mexico. If you'd like to follow along and support our channel, please press the subscribe button and gong that bell to be notified. After all, it's free. Free is a very good price. In the future, we'll plan to focus our episodes on our eco-friendly build of earthen construction and dark night astronomy, that big guy there, and tourism of the regional area, as well as establishing a Patreon account for the sole support of wildlife in Deer Canyon Preserve. So stay tuned. Cheers.